here we are. Next step in the Dodge D150R build. The frame, which you saw in the opening shot, that right there, is back from paint. ECP Powder Coat in El Cajon, California did the paint. They're a powder coating place, but they specialize in what is called steel-it paint. And steel-it paint, this right here, get a good focus on that, is a paint with stainless steel in it. And 316L stainless steel to be exact. And they have it in black and they have it in gray. And the benefit of it is it's very highly anti-corrosive and you can weld on it. So off-road teams like it because if they get a rock chip or a crack, they can easily weld on it, they can easily fix it. It's a very durable coating. So they do about 2 coats normally. They sandblast it. They have to have a certain abrasive to the metal before they apply the paint. But when they do apply the paint, it's nice. It's nice. Let's take a little closer look at it here. Let me get the thing flipped around here. And you can see it's black. And when you get it in the sun, it has a slightly grayish tint to it, which I think is the stainless steel reflecting. But it's very nice, very nice. And this frame is it's from a 1980 D150, so it is 30 plus years old. And there's some little rough spots on it, but this paint is going to, it's really going to coat it nicely and encapsulate it. And I just wanted a durable, good coating. I didn't want powder coat because powder coat cracks, and then you get stuff under it. It's very hard to repair. This is much easier to repair. You can repair it with just the aerosol, or you can blend it, with the aerosol can. And then you can get a free sample. If you go to steelit.com, you can get a free sample. Comes in a can like this, comes in gray. So go ahead and do that. All right, now let's take a look at these front suspension parts here. We got all the stuff laid out here: upper A-arm, lower A-arm, strut bars, steering knuckle, spindle, and then these little bits here that bolt to there. All right, and what we're going to do next is we're going to take these parts which I've ordered from LMC Truck, and I think Summit and LMC Truck, I believe. We've got a upper and lower control arm bushing kit. I thought it was like one arm per box. It's actually 2 arms per box, and I accidentally ordered 2, so I got both, so I'll have a spare. These are for the Strut Bar Bushings. Here we have one of the ball joints. I'll put it around here. This ball joint is the screw-in one. It's kind of hard to see there, but that upper arm there has a screw-in ball joint, and then the bottom one has a press-in ball joint. So those are the ball joints, and that's what we will do to begin the front end assembly and rebuild. Mainly focused on the front right now. I got the rear end over there that you can see sitting there. It's right there. It needs to be sanded, sandblasted, painted, rebuilt. Just gonna go basic, probably a limited slip. And then I got some leaf springs over there that I'll need to repaint. But I'm gonna go for a rolling chassis here. I'm gonna try to have the rolling chassis maybe within a couple, maybe a week, 2 weeks. But yeah, that's where we're at. Stay tuned for other updates, and we'll take it from there. Bye. All right. So I was going to do an update on the 1980 Dodge D150, and I realized I had never done a beginning video or where I'm starting from kind of video. So an update to nothing is not really an update. So I figured I would introduce this project. This project is a 1980 Dodge D150. It was, a little backstory on it was bought by my parents in 1980 in New Jersey. I guess the story goes they didn't buy it like new, but a guy had bought it and then brought it back or something like that. And so it was pretty much, it was pretty new when they got it. It spent from 1980 to 1985 in New Jersey, and then went to Northern California. So it had a little bit of snow exposure to it, salty roads exposure. And then I got it. So it was like the family truck growing up. It was, as my dad will tell you, ginger tan. That was the official Dodge color for this truck, or was. It was really, the only ginger tan you can see left is on the body panels, which are sitting over there. I got it when I turned 16. My dad had gotten a different truck to kind of be the truck, and then this thing was just kind of sitting there. So I got it, and it was the first vehicle I ever customized. So I lowered it and put American Tour Thrust on it, painted it black. So then it was my daily driver until, let's see, about 2004 or 5. So I was born in 83, 16 in 99 was my daily driver, pretty much from then until 2004, 2005 maybe, we'll give it 2005. And then it just kind of became like the truck, but I didn't use it as much. And it, running wise, started to deteriorate. I think it developed like a intake manifold leak or crack or something like that. Could never fix it. So I had it just kind of sitting around, but it was all in one piece. Then I just decided, I think by the 2013, 2014, I had just finished up a bike that I was building, and I decided to strip it down. So I did that in 2014, and then let's see. Then I just slowly started to kind of strip it. So the disassembly, the stripping of everything, it took years, and then a project came along that took, priority, and just a lot of things going on. So it always got put on kind of the back burner. About a year ago, sold my house. And then I've been dedicated to it, even though Baja and work and all kinds of other things have come into play. I've been pretty dedicated to building it back. So the condition you see it in now, let's take a little walk around here. The condition you see it in here is frame is painted, sandblasted, front end is pretty much on. All suspension pieces, A-arms, lower control arm, spindle here, strut rod, it's all powder coated. This paint that is on the frame is Steel It. So looks like that's the can there, Steel It. It's pretty popular with the off-roading community right now. It's got stainless steel in the paint, so it bonds to bare metal really well, and you can weld on it, and it's good for corrosion prevention. And this frame kind of needed that. So it was sandblasted, and then sandblasted actually almost 3 times, and then finally painted with the Steel It. So I'm going to leave it like that for a bit. Mevotech upper and lower ball joints, polyurethane bushings in the control arms. Trying to do polyurethane everywhere. New camber bolts here. Yeah, camber cast. Yeah, I think camber bolts. All grade 8 hardware everywhere. Trying to do. So I'm, you got to get every bolt. It's time consuming. You got to get every bolt and stuff like that. But this is good. That's the transmission cross member there. Grade 8 hardware there. That's the whole frame there. So I'm just going through it. So next I'm waiting on, so one of the things I had to do is box in this this area here. because the stock steering box started to crack around the holes in the frame here. So I just thought I'd box it in and then put these DOM spacers that are going to go all the way, or they touch all the way to the end here. Longer bolts now. Waiting on a steering box. One of the things I'm waiting on now. I have my tie rods, got my center link, which is sitting right there, but I don't have the rest of the steering part, so kind of waiting on that right now. I did though go ahead, now I'm starting to work on the rear, so I made a kind of a stand here for the rear end to sit on. Now I can work on it pretty easily. I'm going to clean it up, paint it with a Steelit, put in this differential, which is the differential that came out of it. It's an open diff. I'll probably add a limited slip later, but I'm going to redo the bearings on that and then kind of go through the process of putting it back in. Right now, today I just removed all the rust and old paint from these leaf springs here. Drove out the bushings here in the they go in the eye. I got some polyurethane for there too. I'm going to go ahead and install those. The cab is sitting over there. It has been stripped and primered. Body panels are sitting over there. The floor will have to be taken out of this because I have, you can see it through there. Kind of can't, but a little bit. A little LS1 5.7 liter. So I took that out of a 2001 Trans Am, and I bought it with all the stock emissions equipment and everything. Because this is a 1980, it will have to pass some sort of smog. So I'm hoping that by the time I get that done, put all the smog equipment in it, I can get a referee sign off on it. That's the hope. We'll see what happens. But I got that 5.7 liter Evernoa Trans Am part of the car out, pretty much paid for the engine, and I got the transmission sitting down there. 6-speed manual. This was a manual truck. It was a slant 6 with a 4-speed hard shifter, 4 on the floor. So I wanted to kind of keep it in that, just up the powertrain. Eventually, it's going to need probably upgrade, or it's definitely going to need upgraded brakes. I'd like to do coilovers eventually, but I'm just trying to get it on the road right now. That's why I'm going with the leaf springs and just putting everything back to the way it was, but with an LS1 and a 6-speed manual. So we'll see how that all goes, but yeah, it's just time consuming, But that's the intro and the update on how it's going. I'll try to do some more of these as I go along so that people can follow along. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, stay tuned. There's more to come, that's for sure, definitely.